Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. It's me, your girl again, Ayo AY. I'm back here tonight. Yeah, just to say hello. It's been a while, so sorry. Yeah, I've been having loads and loads of school work, couple with have to go to work, have to do parenting, stuff like that. So it's been a bit busy down here. So sorry. And that is why I'm here, Today, today is 21st February 2026. So I'm here and I thought I should talk about something very important, especially to care workers. Yeah. And it's just self-care. If you work in social care, health care, whatever kind of care work you do, in any setting, residential, respite, or fostering, or you're in the community support work, yeah, you are constantly giving to others. Yeah, you are giving your time, your energy, your compassion, yeah. You give your energy, you give your emotional support, you give everything about you to people, to others. But here is the question, who takes care of you? Who actually takes care of you? Social care work is so deep and meaningfully very, very deep. It's the kind of profession that changes lives, that touches lives, But at the same time, if we have to be honest, it's also very emotionally draining, emotionally demanding, It's physically exhausting. It's like mentally draining, and sometimes it could be traumatic too, you know it's a kind of profession that we deal with safeguarding concerns, we deal with challenging behaviors, yeah, we deal with things like trauma disclosure, we deal with crisis situations. Things can just happen. It's never planned for. No 2 days are the same in social care work. You deal with understaffing, you deal with, long shifts. You could have misunderstanding with your team members, things like that when you're working, especially in social care work. And, many of us, we were drawn into this work because we care, and we care deeply. We want to give back to the society. We are happy when we put smiles on the faces of other people, no matter how small. But caring deeply without boundaries, that is where burnout really begins from, So what actually is self-care, really? What is self-care? And that is what I've said. Let me just chip in one or two things today, because we are all learning. I could learn from you too. So I feel self-care, it's not just about bubble baths, spa days, holidays, going out, having some sleep, No, it is not. Though those two, they are nice, but real self-care in social care work is about protection, and it's about what is it called? Sustainability. Yeah, you learn to sustain yourself, your energy, your compassion, your empathy, so that you don't find yourself lacking when you have already given out almost everything in you. Self-care means protecting your emotional well-being. You know, it means you kind of recognize your limits. Yeah, you recognize your limits. You learn to set boundaries, professional boundaries. You you process, you know, what you experience. You give yourself time to think about it, to figure out ways to go about it, not just to jump on things like that. That doesn't mean you're selfish. No. It is called professional responsibility. You know, like I always say, you can't give what you don't have. No, it's not possible. Like, you can't pour from an empty vessel or an empty cup. No, you cannot. And in social care, especially social care work, people rely on you daily to be, how do I put this? To be like, they rely on you daily. Being, you know, emotionally regulated, you know? Yeah, something like that. So in self-care, we have to be very careful and be on the lookout for two things. Burnout is number one. The second one, I will call it compassion fatigue. You know, burnout, physically, emotionally, exhaustion, you know, from maybe prolonged stress, when we don't learn to say no before we get to our limits. Yeah, we will experience burnout. The other one, compassion fatigue, you know, that one is when our ability to care for others, when it starts to decrease instead of increasing, because we have allowed ourselves to absorb too much, like trauma, too much negativity, you know. That's when we notice maybe we are always feeling irritated, you know, emotionally. We are not there anymore. It's numb. When it's time to go to work, you know, you dread going to for the shift. Oh gosh, oh, I have to go to work, you know, things like that. It even affects, or it may affect our sleeping. You can't sleep, you wake up, you're worried, you are troubled, you are tired, you know, you just feel detached generally from people around you, even from your service users. But the good thing about that is it does not mean you are bad at your work. No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that. It just means you are human, you know, and that is when we have to give ourselves a pause and set boundaries. We pause and set boundaries. We are not Voltrons, mind you. We are not responsible for saving everyone or saving the whole world. We are responsible for doing our role safely. No matter what, you have to perform your job safely. You have to follow instructions or you follow policy. And you have to go about them ethically, no matter what. I will suggest that we leave our work at our work when possible, you know. When you're going to work, how I normally say to myself, I'll say to myself, my work bag, quote and unquote, they're outside my door. So when I'm going on my shift, I go out of my house, lock my door, then I pick my work bag psychologically, and I go for my shift. When I'm done from shift, I'm coming back home. It's either I drop my bag outside my workplace, you know, quote and unquote, or I bring it with me when I get to my house. Psychologically, I drop it outside my door. I don't take it with me into my house. Because as a single parent, my children are waiting as I'm stepping in. Oh, mommy, oh, mommy, oh, mommy. So there's even no time for me to think about work again at that point in time. So it is better we use what we call supervision properly. When we're at work, yeah, we have any issue, we have any concerns, we have any questions, we could ask from our colleagues, we could ask from our supervisors, we could even go up to our managers. That's why they are there. We are there for each other. Supervision isn't just about paperwork. It is our space, you know. It is that period of time for us to reflect, for us to offload whatever we have on our minds, you know. It is that time for us to discuss the emotional impact of what our work entails. Maybe we are struggling with some things. Maybe we are not happy with certain decisions. Maybe we have some issues, you know. And that is when we ask for support in the workplace. So, you know, if we are not using supervision to protect ourselves, I'll just say to us that we are really missing something spectacular, you know. We are missing a key support system in our lives, in our work, and that could be a problem to us. Because if we carry too much on our mind, in our heads, you know, it becomes problem. Like when things happen, yeah, after a while, we should learn to debrief. Things happen, things will always happen. It's just normal. It's the way we respond to them, it's the way we handle them that matters, you know. So after maybe serious incidents at work, you know, we don't just move on. Let's learn to talk about it. Let's learn to process it. And let's learn to ask for a debrief. If we think it's too much for us to handle, we can just step aside, ask to be taken off that particular issue. Or if you think you need some time off, ask. That is the good thing about social care work. You always have that support, employee support, available to you. You know, self-care is not something we do once a year, once a month, once a week. No, we learn to do it even inside of us. What do I want to achieve? So that you don't stress yourself unreasonably. And at the end of the day, even the service users will suffer for it, because it will tell on them. So I will suggest to us maybe 10 minutes of silence in a day. We could go for a short walk after shift. For those who have break time, yeah, they could just take a short walk, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You can do self-care by writing, you know, pouring out your mind, journaling things, writing them down, and you feel a lot better when you do that. Deep breathing. It goes a long way, I'm telling you. Even in our car, before we drive home, in our car, before we come down to start our shift, then we learn to switch off our work notifications when we are off work. We don't have to answer to all emails when you are not at work. You know, that is your me time. That is your personal time. You learn to use it wisely. You know, self-care is so important to us as social care workers, you know. Excuse me. Because in social care work, we build relationships. But we have to always try to avoid over-identifying. You know, it's so possible to care for somebody deeply without putting their lives on your shoulders, so that you now go walking like that, heavy burden on your shoulders. No, it's not our job to do that. You know, it is not our job to rescue somebody. It's not our job to fix somebody. No, it's not even our job to absorb their trauma. Not at all. Our job is to support people. Our job is to try and empower them, to safeguard them, make sure they are okay. Empower them so that they too can become as independent as they could, and they can thrive on their own. Don't just keep doing stuff for people all the time. No, let them try it out. If they need support to do anything, yes, support them. That is why we are there. Not to take over their roles, no. There is a difference in doing those, you know. And here is something very important again. Self-care is not just personal. It's very, very ethical. Because I realize that when you are exhausted, you know, even your judgment drops. Your patience is reduced. Your reactions, oh my God, they change a lot. It's either that you become too snappy or you are too slow to react to issues. It's not your fault, or it is not that you are bad. It is just that you are slow to recognize your limits. Because taking good care of ourselves, as social care workers, is a sure way of protecting the people that we support. It protects even our team, and it also protects our career. If we work in social care setting and nobody or no one has told you this recently, you are doing important work, but you are not a machine. Please rest, reflect, and protect your peace. Because social care work is not a sprint that we are running. Yeah, who is going to win? I will win. You must win. No, I can win. No. It is a marathon. It goes on and on and on and on. And we need to be well for that long run. We have to take good care of ourselves. We have to protect ourselves to be able to protect the people we support, our service users. So, if this, kind of resonated with you, please share and subscribe. And you can drop a comment, because I want to learn from you too. Nobody knows it all. We are learning from each other. In fact, I'm curious. Drop me a comment. Tell me what helps you take good care of yourself in life. Because I won't say in social care field. Maybe we are not all social care professionals or workers or whatever. Even in life, how do you take care of yourself? I'm employing us all. Let's continue to take good care of ourselves so that we'll continue to take good care of others as well. Thank you for listening. I'll be back again soon. Have a lovely night rest. Have a lovely day wherever you are. God bless. Bye for now. Peace out.